What's going on, guys? Ben Demo Fishing here. Today's video is going to be about how to find and locate deep offshore largemouth bass. So really, it's quite simple what I'm looking for when I'm trying to find and locate these deep offshore schools of largemouth up here in the northern country. What I'm mainly looking for is just major points or maybe like secondary points that are coming off spawning bays. Because all your largies and smallies will pull up in these bays when it's in the middle of the spring and it's the spawning time. And they'll spawn up here around the land, maybe on some islands or some humps that are protected from the wind. But really, the only places they can go is moving out and up on these major points or these secondary points or even some of these humps like out here. What I really like to focus is these secondary points right here that goes into a major flat system. But what you'll find out here, at least on Lake Minnetonka and some other lakes in Minnesota, is that there's going to be coontail growing out about 22 foot of water. And the coontail I'm looking for is mostly inside turns, towers of coontail, like coontail that grows a lot taller than the rest, or coontail in the middle of cabbage patches. As well, most importantly, I'm looking for hard bottom areas that are right up next to or in some form of vegetation, whether that's coontail, cabbage, or some form of milfoil, but there's not much milfoil left on Lake Minnetonka. But really, when it's deep and late in the summer like this, I just like to focus these offshore points, and the bass get real schooled up on them, chasing on bluegill. And I'll show some real life examples of what I'm looking for on side scan and how to break down like a giant flat and point system like this and how to break it down into only a few waypoints. I'll show a couple rod and reels as well too, techniques I like, and fish catches, just kind of show what I'm doing, how I'm using the technique, etc. So really all we're doing right now is just side scanning all these secondary points that are coming off these major flat systems. Just trying to stay the edge on this coontail. And when we get to the edge, you'll see it pop out at you really hard. You see it's coming up like around here a little bit. There's a little inside turn right here where there's more coontail, and this coontail point right here, then it goes into a turn. I like to focus that a lot as well. Really, I'm trying to stay off the edge a lot so I can look right on the edge of that coontail and see if I find any type of hard bottom or any type of rocks or rock piles or anything of that nature. You see we have a little school of bluegills right here, and they really like to set up on that. Set up right under it. And well, if you look at that, right past that little school of bluegills that's right here, we have a little boulder system right on the edge of this coontail, and they set up on this like crazy. They just let it sit on that rocks and hunt around bluegill the entire day. And that's really how they stay so fat in the summer. It's just by connecting the hard bottom right next to some sort of vegetation and just fall around bluegill. The techniques I like to use to really try and pick apart these offshore schools of bass in the northern country is when I'm fishing an offshore structure like rock up next to some sort of vegetation or any type of hard bottom, I like to start off with a really big either hair jig or a really big swim bait, mostly just due to the fact that if you got a big school of fish, they're gonna bite whatever comes in there. Like it could be a drop shot, it could be a Carolina rig, a football jig, it could be anything, but the first bait that gets in there is just gonna get hammered by all the bass, and by tossing a really big hair jig or a nice size swim bait, it's going to really deter those like 2 pound, 3 pound, 1 pound bass from chewing on your bait. And that's why I like to start off with big bait when I go start off in these schools. Second up, after I throw a hair jig, I usually like to throw some type of moving bait like a crankbait or some type of like chatterbait or maybe a scrounger head, something down there that I can get moving and maybe get a reaction strike. But at least on Tonka lately, I haven't gotten much fish on reaction strikes lately, and my bait right after I toss in a hair jig is a Carolina rig. I toss, I'd say a pretty long leader. I don't really know how long this is, maybe 24 inches, maybe longer. Just about half my wingspan, I guess you could say. But the bait I like to throw on a Carolina rig is going to be just some type of creature bait. I really like a brush hog because it's real slim and it deters a lot of the bluegill from chewing at your bait and stuff, and it really just starts focusing those bass that don't want to eat, and that's cool. They want something slow, they want something you can pick apart with. I'm throwing a 3/4 ounce Carolina rig weight from Woo Tungsten. Not sponsored or anything, it's just I like the weight, I like the design of it. I got a little bobber stopper. I don't know if you can see that, I don't think you can see that very well, but I have a bobber stopper stopping that weight from going up, and it just makes the Carolina rig much easier to cast. And the bait I have right out there Carolina rig, when I've caught, I don't know, 5+ fish in a school, I've caught everything I think I can out of a Carolina rig. That's when I really start to go finesse. That's when I'll start throwing just a drop shot, whether that's in green pumpkin or whether it's a low light. I like to throw, like now, like how it's a low light, to throw a little pink robo worm. This is a 6-inch morning dawn robo worm. I had that up to a 1/4 ounce Woo Tungsten weight. That's about 14 inches on the leader. But I really like toss this bait in there just to kind of pick apart those solos, the ones that don't want to bite anything. You just need to get that extra bite. But really, when it comes to these offshore schools, you can toss anything you want in there and they'll usually bite. It's just whatever you're most comfortable with. Like if you don't want to throw a Carolina rig, a lot of guys like to throw a jig. If you don't like a drop shot, a lot of guys like to throw something, like a lot of guys like to throw free rigs nowadays, or something weightless down there, or even a shaky head or Nico rig or a jig worm, just something a lot more finessey. Try and target those fish that don't want to bite, those fish you can pick off on the last bit of the school. And as for the hair jig, like I said before, you can toss anything you want in there. In the first cast in the school, I just like to throw something big, try force a big bite. But that's about all I use for these offshore schools. So we're gonna get off to some fish catching to kind of show you how I'm working these techniques and what I'm looking at, and hopefully those are pretty cool. We got a chicken bite, boys. That's a 4-pounder. Might go, I don't know, 3.5, maybe close to 4, but God, look at that chicken. Just look at that. Golly, we got school here. Is it pike or is this a bass? Pretty big bass, that is. Oh, that's a giant. Oh. It's not as big as I thought, but that was a lot bigger the way he jumped. It's still a fun one though. Man, they love that pink worm. I thought that was a giant. I saw him come up and I saw like, he's not real long or anything, but I saw him come up, I saw the side of him, I was like, oh dude, that's a 4+. Is it good or no?
Yeah, it's really good.
Expensive?
Yeah.
Oh, there's one.
Obama's buying.
Obama's buying?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll go.
All right, $9.
Dude, I'm on a whack fest right now, Jake. I just saw, oh my God. All right. Oh, that guy just hit the board. See ya. Look at that one.
All right, see ya.
See ya, bud. Whoa, what is that? That's gotta be a pike, right? Nope, that's a bass. Little school of them. Another little nice one. See if we get back in that school. Just a cute one. Come on, Carolina rig. There's one. Yes, sir. What are you? Ooh, 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 hey. It's a good bass. I'm trying to learn new techniques, do new things, but man, I cannot stay away from that Carolina rig. Golly, he smashed that thing. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Come on, new guy. Come on, come on. Oh, yeah. That's why we throw the chicken, baby. Look at that one. Oh. That's what you'll love to see. Oh, those are fun ones. Love throwing that chicken, man. Look at that guy. release on him. Oh, that's a big boy. Man, that's so cool. Oh, dude, this is such a fun bait. Throwing a big giant hair jig on these offshore schools. Let's see if we can get another one. Well, that's the end of the video on how to find deep offshore largemouth up in the northern country. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like or a comment. If you have any questions, I'll be free to reach out to me on my socials or just leave a comment in the YouTube comment section. But hope you all have a great day and peace out.